President. Merci, merci, merci.
Thank you, President Metsola.
Chairman McAllister, the Committee on Foreign Affairs, Président. Non portant la délégation pour les relations avec le Canada.
Thank you. Based on Article 195, out that it would have been more appropriate for Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a Prime Minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence. Thank you.
Honourable members, we keep discussing here our European democratic values that underpin all of our actions. I worked in Syria and Pakistan for many years as a diplomat and therefore value democracy very highly. Now, the invitation to Canadian PM Justin Trudeau is an invitation to someone who's been trampling on democratic rights, who's been cracking down on people who protested against disproportionate corona measures, peoples who were supporting a non-sanctioned movement coming under criticism. So clearly the values of democracy are being despised by this individual. Let us not give someone like this any speaking time in this House of Democracy.
Poštovane kolege.
Dear colleagues, dear citizens, Prime Minister Trudeau, freedom, the right of choice, the right to freedom, the right to work. For many of us, these are basic, fundamental human rights that millions of people across Europe and across the world have given their lives in order to defend our rights and the rights of our children, rights that we have fought for centuries. Many of us, including me, myself personally, are ready and willing to risk our own freedom and to lay down our own lives. Unfortunately, today among us, there are also those who want to trample those basic rights. Canada, once a symbol of the modern world, is under your quasi-liberal leadership, and over the past few months it has become a symbol of violating basic human rights and civic freedoms. We have witnessed women being trampled by horses, single parents being their bank accounts are being blocked so that they cannot pay for their children's schools, they cannot pay for medicine, they cannot pay their electricity bills, their water bills, they cannot pay the debts they have, their mortgages. For you, maybe these are liberal methods, but for many citizens across the world, this is a dictatorship of the worst kind. Be assured that the citizens of the world when united, can stop any regime that wants to abolish the freedom of citizens, whether by bombs or by harmful medicine. Thank you.
What made us strong over the history, and I'm talking about the Western world, were the values. The respect for basic fundamental rights, the understanding that the government is there to serve you as citizen, as a person, not for you to serve the government. And what the Prime Minister of Canada, the way he's behaving right now, he's exactly like a tyrant, like a dictator. He's like Ceausescu in Romania. If even you doubt, if you raise doubts about the vaccines, you're outcasted. What's the difference between what he does and what happened under the Inquisition? See, on one side they say, well, we should not believe in God, but on the other side they say, believe in science. We don't have to. Science is not about belief. Science is about measurements, conclusions, hypotheses, and arguments. We got to a point right now where even if you say something, if you raise any doubts, you're already considered, as whatever, they label you in very different ways. This is not okay. And I have to tell you, that when I saw the protests in Canada, the way the truckers over there reacted, I got in touch with some of them, others contacted me, I congratulated them, and I want to use this opportunity to thank them, and I hope this movement for freedom and for rights is spreading all around the world, because at the end of the day, we have to make sure that all these elected officials, they understand that they were elected in those offices to work for the people, not to behave like masters of slaves. Thank you.